All right, Shalom, Israel, Shalom, Shalom. Right, peace and blessings to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. Right, I want to give all honor and glory, right, to Yahweh, which is the God of Israel, and his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai. And I also want to give a shout out to Mary of Bethany, right, that anointed our king with the precious ointments before his burial. I also want to shout out our ancestors that lost their lives behind keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. Right, they was willing to sacrifice their freedom. They was willing to give up their lives, to keep these laws and commandments, man. So I pray that we always keep them, in our minds and always honor them until we die, man. So all praises to them. This a a late night lesson for me. The brother Isaiah just did a mighty class, man. Y'all check that class out. He just did, and it was on my spirit to make this class today while I was at work. And I'm trying to get my stamina back up to making videos maybe late at night. I know when I first came into this thing, but I'm up 2 o'clock in the morning making a video. So you're trying to kind of build that zeal back up slowly but surely, trying to increase and better yourself in this walk, man. So this is something I want to get better with, trying to fight my sleep, and just fight my sleep, make my body live in sacrifice. Cause I know somebody that may be up right now that may need to hear this. And, just being a prisoner of Yahweh Shai, I mean, this just part of it. Right? Part of being in this truth is, that your body is not yours no more. So sometimes the Lord may have in your spirit to drop a lesson at 1 o'clock in the morning, almost going to be 1 o'clock in the morning. So you got to be obedient to his voice, even though you're tired, man. So y'all bear with me. Lord willing, this be a beautiful class. It's called The Traits of a Person Apt to Teach. I think it's a very, very, very important lesson, man. I think this is a very important topic, man, because it's a lot of people that that teach, that have an audience, whether it's 100 people, excuse me, whether it's thousands of people, excuse me, whether it's 10 people. You have a group of people that may go out and teach on the streets or teaching like I'm doing right now. They may have an audience, but they're not apt to teach according to the Bible. They don't have the traits that the Bible says that we supposed to have. Just because, and I say this all the time, just because a person can go, just because a person may be a scholar, right? Just because a person may know the Bible front and back, and he got a lot of knowledge and history, like he's a wise person, doesn't mean that he was called to teach. And I'm gonna prove that in the scriptures. Just because a person, can get into the deep dark parables and break down Revelation and break down Second Ezra 15 and 16, doesn't mean he was called to be a teacher. And Lord will, I'm gonna touch on this topic right now. But before I get into it, let me share my screen. Finna start this video off. Finna set the tone, right? Finna set the tone. And this thing I was meditating on this morning. And I'm gonna share this with y'all, man. So you gotta set the tone, man. In the mornings, chiefly, when you starting your day off, we gotta start setting the tone. A lot of us wake up in the morning you're already thinking it's gonna be a bad day. I know it's gonna be, I'm gonna be angry. I know somebody finna make me upset. We gotta set the tone, man. Right? We gotta set the tone. Like, okay, I'm gonna set the tone. My day gonna go good. Rather Satan try to throw it off a night. Right? I'm blessed to be alive. Right? This is the day that the Lord has made. I'm gonna rejoice and be glad in it. This is the mindset we gotta have. So we gotta be the ones that set the tone and don't allow Satan to set the tone for us. So I'm gonna set the tone in this video, right, by playing this shofar blowing. All praise to the Most High, man. All praise to the Most High. Lord, our Lord willing, that brother still in the truth and going strong, man. Because I think this was like 14 years ago. Yeah, so Lord willing, this brother still in the truth, going strong, man. But yeah, man. So this lesson is called, traits of a person. What I call this? The traits of a person apt to teach, because a lot of times, when we first come into this truth, we just hearing brothers on videos, just it's kind of like they peer pressuring in a sense to go out and teach. And it's like you feel like you can go out and teach because you know Deuteronomy 28 and you know a few commandments. So now, you think that you're apt to go out and teach, but it's deeper than that. It's the whole point of this video, man. Right. And this is like a righteous rebuke, for my nation, right? The Israelites. I don't really, well, it's really for them, right? I don't really care too much about other denominations. I'm caring about my people. And we believe wholeheartedly, without a doubt, that we are the biblical Israelites according to the Bible, right? So we believe that the Most High God has called us in for a particular purpose. So when we're going out to teach, right? When we're going out to the highways and hedges, it's deeper than just knowing Deuteronomy 28. It's deeper than just knowing a few commandments. It's deeper than just knowing the deep dark parables, man. You have to work on you have to work on yourself as a person, right? Before you even able to go out and teach. And what I mean by that, let me get a verse. I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna break down, Lord willing, what I mean by it, because just because a person know the Bible doesn't mean he's a teacher. It doesn't even mean he's sent by the Most High God. Remember, the scribes and Pharisees, they knew the Bible, man. They knew the Bible. They knew the scriptures. It's James chapter 3 and verse 1. My brethren, be not many masters. It said, my brethren, be not many masters, knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation. So we got to understand, we going out and teaching, right? We call ourselves leaders. We call ourselves bishops. We call ourselves deacons. Just going out there and being a face for our people and being just being that example for them. You're gonna receive greater condemnation by what you do. See, a lot of people kind of starting to take this teaching. This lesson, I'm gonna be blunt, right? I'm gonna be real, because this is what we need, right? A lot of people, and this is what just me just examining and starting to see, and just things I hear. A lot of people just starting to take this thing as a joke, right? They starting to take it as it's just content, right? They starting to take it as when people going out and teach, it's not sincere, it's not a lot of sincere. It's not really being sincere no more. It's really about views, right? It's about people joining your camp. It's about just going out and just bashing the heathen. Like that's what you mainly really starting to see in this thing. But you got to understand, you're going to receive great condemnation by you being a teacher, by you knowing right from wrong. You're going to get judged even more than the people that may or didn't know, that wasn't teaching. This is a very serious job. And I don't think a lot of people understand this to the full. They understand, okay, I'm making my body a living sacrifice, but they truly don't understand how serious it is for you to be teaching. Every idle word, everything that you say, whether you bashing people in the comment section of your videos, whether you going out to the streets and you offending the sheep, right? You just, what I'm saying, you talking to them crazy. You don't want to hear them out when they talking to you. You're going to be judged by these things. And what makes a great teacher is a person that's willing to listen. It's a lot of people that don't want to listen because they feel like they got the answers. Even if you know you're right. Even if you understand, that you're right, and you always listen, because this person may tell you something, even though you've been studying the Bible for 10 years. A person can come up and tell you something about the Bible that you missed when you was reading it, or that you didn't know about history that relates to the Bible. But you just so focused on just telling them, you so focused on telling them and teaching them, you're not hearing the people out. Right? You have to have people skills. When it comes to being a teacher, man, you have to have people skills, and you have to know how to talk to people. It's a lot of people that go out and teach that don't know how to talk to people. You see what I'm saying? They don't know how to have a simple conversation. Outside, when it comes to camp, they don't know how to. But when they outside of it's kind of crazy, because when it comes to camp, a lot of people don't know how to have a conversation when it comes to talking to the sheep. But outside of camp, it's like they got sense. You have to have people skills. You have to know how to talk to people, man. Right? When we going out and talking to the sheep, because they very precious. You got to understand, they're sensitive. They never heard this stuff that is new to them. They never heard that they Israelites. They never heard about the commandments. Think about this. They've been growing up their whole life into Christianity, believing in Islam. So you can't just yell at them when they don't understand what you're saying, or they don't want to listen to you, or they think you crazy. Understand this, man. You got to know how to talk to people. You don't have to yell at people to get your point across. It's okay to listen to the other people's standpoint and where they're coming from, even if you disagree with them. Let them talk first, hear the matter first, then rebuke. This what makes you a great teacher. It's people that's teaching they know the scriptures. They very wise brothers, but they not good teachers. You have to know how to talk to the sheep. You have to read the sheep. You have to read their spirits. I can talk to this brother a certain way, but this other brother right here, just by me reading his spirit, I can't talk to him the same way I talk to this brother. You have to read that, but some people don't read the spirit. They just talk to everybody the same. They talk to every person the same. No, you have to be we are trying to win souls. So you have to be wise when it comes to this thing, man. It's okay to practice. It's okay to be in the mirror and practice how you gonna go out and teach and practice different approaches. It's okay to have different approaches. You don't have to have the same approach, right? It's okay to practice different approaches when it, just with things that you may say, right? To try to lure people in. It's okay. It says, my brethren, be not many masters, knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation. But it's like everybody want to be a teacher. Everybody want to be quick to be a teacher. Everybody want to be quick to be a captain. Everybody want to be quick to be a deacon. Everybody want to be quick to do these things, man. But they don't work on themselves first. Work on yourself first. Don't be quick to go out to the streets and teach. This is serious business. Don't make sure you're ready, man. You don't have to be the wisest brother to go out and teach, man. But you want to have traits. You want to have good traits, within you before you go out and teach. That's the most important thing. You don't have to be the wise. You don't have to know all the parables, and you have to know everything. You don't have to know everything. You want to make sure you have those teacher traits within you, man, because that's what's going to help you grow. He said, for verse 2, he said, for in many things we offend all. If any man offend not in the word, the same as a perfect man, and able also to bridle the whole body, or bridle the whole body. So this is very important. You don't want to offend in your word, man. You don't want to offend. And this is what we got to understand, man. Like I said, we're gonna be judged by every idle word that we say. It's a way that you can get your point across to a person without offending them. You know what I'm saying? It's a way that you can talk to a person without offending them. But if you just constantly off the dome, put some, this is what we gotta truly think about. If we just going, we just say, I'm gonna just use some example, because I used to do this, right? I used to do this, And this just comes with growth and just growing in this truth and being, mature in this thing, growing and being mature. I used to be the person. A sister, she may walk by naked or almost half naked, right? Booty shorts on, you know what I'm saying? You know how a lot of our women dress. And I'm just yelling, hey, put some dang clothes on. Put some dang clothes on. Cover up. You want to be modest. You don't want to show your body out here. Put some dang clothes on. Now, am I wrong for telling to cover up? No. But it's a way that I can say that. It's a certain way that I can tell her that without coming across like that, because it's a difference between explaining why I'm telling you this. Why am I telling you to put some clothes on? Try to reel her in first, right? Try to reel the sister in first and try to tell her, why are you saying this? But if you just yelling it at her, she not gonna want to hear what you're saying, because you just yelling at her and telling her to put some clothes on, but you're not telling her why. You're not really, speaking to her as a human being and telling her why, you telling her to cover up. Or it may be a brother that's a homosexual, right? It may be a brother that's walking by that's homosexual. Hey, the Lord gonna kill you, you so-and-so, right? You dang, I don't want to say it on YouTube, right? Because it's very sensitive on YouTube. But just a brother, just a homosexual, just brother, you just yelling at him. But we got to understand that's a sheep. That a brother that could repent, right? It may not look like it. It may look like he's far gone, but this brother and this sister that may be a dyke can repent. But we have to talk to them in a certain way to understand what it. Cause a lot of times they traumatized. They done went through some stuff. They may have been touched on. They may have been molested. So we have to come to them, and reason with them and understand. I understand, right? You know what I'm saying? You probably been through a lot. But don't spare them. Like, don't water down the word. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying water down the word. I'm saying it's a way that you can talk to them and try to reel them in instead of coming, because they're gonna look at it like, even if you're not coming across like this, they're gonna look at you like you coming across like a crazy Negro, right? He's crazy, he's wild, right? Why is he yelling? So it's a way that we can talk to our people and tell them what the Bible say and rebuke them righteously without coming across as maniacs. If that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but I pray it makes sense. It says if any man offend out of his word, the same as a perfect man. So we can talk to people, even if a person may get offended and you may be talking to them calm and gentle, they may still get offended, but they don't have nothing to do with you. But if you just cussing them out and you just bashing them, you coming just like a missile, you just give me this, and they're trying to figure out what's going on, and it's like, bro, every idle word, man. Every idle word, we got to keep this in mind. This is a very serious job. And this is a job that you just don't want to hop in. Take your time before you hit those highways and byways. Take your time before you start making lessons. There's no rush. Build yourself up first. Build yourself up first, right? In knowledge and also in fruits of the spirit, man. The way that you move and the way that you do things. Work on yourself first. Don't be so quick to go out there, man, and teach the sheep if you're not ready, man. So let me get 2 Timothy. It's 2 Timothy 2:24. I'm gonna start at 24. And the servants of the Lord must not strive. Now, let's look at that word real quick. Let's look at that word. Let's look at that word.
Strive.
Right? Strive, right? Make great efforts to achieve or obtain something. In the Bible, strive generally means to make a great effort, to struggle, or to contend with earnestness. It can refer to both physical and spiritual exertion, often implying a struggle against opposing or difficulty. Right? So when you go back, right? It says, and the servant of the Lord must not strive, but be gentle unto all men, apt to teach. So these just certain traits that you should have as being a teacher. Don't always be, don't always be, on goal. Don't always be like you in attack mode. Right there, you so willing to, you ready to just, you know, wave the hand and just get on our people, and just, you're not being gentle to them. You're not being understanding. You just willing, you just ready to debate. You're not trying to hear the people out. You being angry. You want to fight, right? You out there on the corners looking for a fight. You out there teaching on the streets looking for a fight. You out there on the streets just to bash the heathen. To hell with the heathen, man. A lot of people starting to make that the number one thing. Just to go out there and bash the heathen. When it ain't that much traffic at camp, brother just feel like, okay, let me just talk to the, I'm bored. You can't have that on, you can't be bored and just start doing stuff. Nobody ain't walking by, so let me just have a conversation with the heathen and just bash them. And this ain't even about the heathen. That ain't even the goal. That's not what, even why we going out and teaching. We're going out there to teach the people, our people, the Israelites. But a lot of people starting to make that the number one thing, man. It's all a show. Israel love to be entertained. Aren't you entertained? Right? Israel love to be entertained. This is why when you see street teaching videos with crazy thumbnails and crazy title names, you get brothers getting thousands of views. But when it comes to lessons like this, they barely getting views, because Israel love to be entertained. And brothers, a lot of brothers love the views, right? They love the comments. Oh, you just brought it out. Oh, you the mightiest teacher in Israel. You my favorite scholar. You just cut so and so up. You just cut that dumb brother up. It say, but be gentle unto all men. Man, you wanna get to the point where, man, when you out there teaching, bro, people, when you want to have that spirit on you when you out there teaching and you talking to people. People just come up and listen, and they don't want to leave because it's peace, right? They feel peace they feel brotherhood among you when you out there teaching. You're gentle. They love the conversation. You don't want to have people they don't want to really be around because you keep cussing. Right? And this is why we know cussing is not a sin, but it's like we have to keep in mind the sheep that's trying to come out of Christianity and used to not cussing, used to getting taught that it's a sin, used to getting taught these things. We got to be mindful of them. Everything that we do, whether we going out there teaching, we got to be mindful of the sheep. We're being an example of the Most High. Right, we are being a example of him. So when people see us, they should see the Most High within us. They shouldn't see, oh, he's that he's just crazy. He say, but be gentle unto all men. Be gentle, right? Be gentle to your brothers, man. Even to the brother. You don't have to stoop down on people level that's scoffing. I don't understand why people do this. If a person's scoffing, you don't have to stop entertaining them. This is what makes a great teacher. A teacher knows when to talk to somebody and when not to. They know when to talk and when not to talk. They know when to let somebody go about their day or reel them in. You don't always have to entertain a person that's scoffing. Let them go about their business. You told them about the word. They don't listen. Stop talking to them. If they didn't understand then, they're not gonna understand now. You talking to you up here talking, striving with a person for 2 hours, knowing he's not listening. Let him go about his day. It might not be his time to get it. This is what we got to understand. We don't bring nobody in the truth. We don't bring nobody in the truth. It don't matter what you say. You can break down Deuteronomy 28 to the T and show them that this is talking about us. They still might not get it. Why? Because it's not you that bring them into the truth. They might not meant to get it. But remember, you gotta have a 2/3. Everybody not gonna get it. It don't matter how smooth you break it down, as simple you break it down to them, or it may not be their time to get it. This is what we gotta understand. This is what makes great teachers, willing to understand that and let them go, and stop wasting your breath on people that's not getting it. You gotta read the spirit. Okay, he not getting it. All right, brother. I love you, King. I'm gonna let you go about your day. I gotta teach some more people that may understand, may get it. All right, cool. Instead of, no, bring me this. Crazy. You wicked. Look, what this brother gonna, bro, lead this brother. Brother is not gonna get it. It might not be his time. Let him go. Stop wasting your breath on folly. Entertainment. This truth is not about entertainment. This truth is not about entertainment. This truth is not about likes. This truth is not about comments. Right? This is real, man. A lot of people taking this as a joke. This is why I say, to hell with community. You won't find that in the Bible. We are a nation of people. We are a nation of people, man. We are not a community. We are a nation. But a lot of people get caught up in that community and the fame and wanting validation and wanting people to share your videos. Man, forget all that, man. It don't matter if nobody don't share your videos. It don't matter if you host a event and nobody don't show up to your event. It don't matter if nobody repost your flyers or repost your videos. Who cares? We're not doing it for that. You shouldn't do it for that. He say, be gentle to all men. And even a lot of brothers ain't gonna want to hear this. A lot of brothers ain't gonna want to hear this. But even when it comes to the other nations, man, you're gonna have some brothers be like, oh, he a coon. Right? I knew he trying to say the heathen. Right? He trying to, he say that he's trying to bring the heathens into the fold because he's talking about being gentle to the heathen. What I'm saying is, this is what I'm saying. When you talking to people in general, we are being a reflection of the Most High, right? You don't have to come across. Now, I'm not saying don't tell the heathen their judgment. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying don't tell the heathen their judgment. But I'm saying, as us being teachers, it's a way that you come across, that you should come across as a teacher in telling them the judgment. Because the sheep, we know a lot of our people got Stockholm syndrome. So they pay attention a lot how we talk to the heathen and how we treat the heathen. A lot of our people got a bad taste in their mouth about the Israelites because of how we talk to the heathen. So if we understanding that, okay, a lot of our people got a bad taste in their mouth by how we talking to these people, let's talk. We can still get them their judgment and still tell them who they are, but let's talk more gentle and calm. And even then, this is what we gotta always remember. We want the heathens to cleave, right? We want them to serve us, right? So we talk to them away. We can still let them know, but you want a servant to want you want a heathen or a servant or your slave to want to serve you. Because if they don't want to serve you, what happened in slavery what happened in slavery when you had these wicked Edomite slave masters and they treated our people bad? What happened? They started slave rebellions. They ended up cutting his neck off. Why? Because he was treating them wrong. So when you coming across this, still telling them who they is and letting them know who you is in a gentle and calm way. You don't have to always. And that goes to reading the person's spirit, reading the people you're talking to. You always don't have to come heathen, Edomite, Moabite, Ammonite, Ishmaelite. They come up. We know they wicked, right? We know who they descend from. We know they hate us. They come up, right? We don't always have to strictly tell them boom boom, right? We don't have do. You know what I'm saying? We don't always have to do that. They come up and we can talk to them. We can have a conversation, right? I'm a teacher, right? You have some questions, I can answer your question. You don't always have to, you know what I'm saying, do because some of them gonna want to serve, right? Some of them gonna want to cleave. Some of them are meant to cleave. Some of them are meant to serve. But it's a way that we talk, you know what I'm saying? We supposed to come across because, this is our image, right? This is our image around the whole world. We don't want to have this image of us on our name as, don't know how to talk to people. We hate women. We always cussing. We don't hear people out. We don't want to have that on our name, man. Right? We want to have that mindset. Okay, them brothers, they wise. This is what we want. This is what we want to have people. We want to have people think, or people talk. Them brothers wise, man. Right? There's some very understanding brothers from the heathen and from the Israelites. We want everybody, because we're supposed to be a light to everybody. We want all of them to come up and be like, man, them some wise people, man. Right? That's a wise and understanding nation. They know how to talk to people. They bring the word out so clear. They're not yelling, right? This is what we want to. This is what we want to have on our name, bro. Apt to teach. Patient. It's a lot of brothers that shouldn't be that don't have the traits of teaching because they're not patient. It's a lot of brothers that's not patient. It's a lot of teachers that's not patient, man. Right? They quick to crash out. It may be a person that come up that don't understand it. We're not patient with them, man. Quick to bring precepts out to cut them up instead of just being patient. As a teacher, you have to be patient, man. That's what it comes down to. As a teacher, you have to be patient, especially if you're a teacher on the highways and byways. You're gonna come across all different type of spirits, but you have to be patient through it all. A person that may be scoffing, a person that may be calling you out your name, a person that's just been a demon, right? A person that maybe just don't understand. They keep asking thousands of questions. They keep asking the same question over and over again because they just don't understand. You gotta be patient with them, man. This is the sheep. I'm talking about the Israelite. You have to be patient with them. A lot of brothers not patient. They ready to lay hands on them because they don't get it or they scoffing. They ready to lay hands on the person because they scoffing. It says in meekness, instructing those that oppose themselves. If God peradventure would give them repentance to the knowledge of the truth, right? Acknowledging of the truth. I want that in meekness, right? The meek shall inherit the earth. You have to be humble, man. You have to be humble. You have to be meek. This is the qualities that people should see within us, the teachers that's going out and teaching. Let me get this scripture. This book of James, chapter 1 and verse 19. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath. If a person not swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath, he shouldn't be teaching, man. He shouldn't be teaching. Because you have to be willing to hear out the matter before you rebuke. Hear out the whole matter. Let the person talk. You ain't gotta keep cutting the person off. Every 3-4 sentences, you cutting them off. You ain't letting them talk. Be swift to hear out the matter. Slow to speak. There's a lot of people that's not slow to speak. They so quick to speak. And be slow to wrath. If a person can't contain his spirit, if a person can't contain his emotions, he shouldn't be teaching. If a person can't contain his feelings, he's emotional. A brother out there teaching, he's emotional. He's getting all upset. He's crying mad. He ready to lay hands. I'm tired. I'm gonna choke you out. You gotta be slow to wrath. You can't allow your feelings to override the Bible. There's a lot of people allow their feelings to override the scriptures, man. Now they talking crazy. Now they want to fight their brother over the scriptures. You have to be, as a teacher, you got to be slow to wrath, man. You got to be patient. You have to be understanding, and you got to be at peace being a teacher. You can't let a person come up to you. Now they say something that you dislike. Now you out the spirit. Off rip, you out the spirit. You talking carnal now. Now you were just in the word. Now you talking carnal. It says, for the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God, man. And as a teacher, you want to be blameless, man. Right? We know Paul spoke about that. I want to say it was Paul, but it's real talk. As a teacher, you want to be blameless, man. You don't want to be, at camp, you teaching the word, but after camp, when the camera's off, you a whole nother person. You living 2 lives. Right? You Beyonce when the camera on, right? Not then when the camera off, you Sasha Fierce. Right? You are what they call a ego. What is called alter ego, whatever. You a whole nother person. Right? You are different. Bro, if you a teacher, right? You got to be the same even when the camera off. You got to be the same exact person. You can't be one way when the camera on, when you at camp, then when the camera off, you being a demon. You being wicked. You have to be the same person even when the camera off. That same zeal you had at camp, you got to carry that zeal within your house. When you go into the store, when you're giving a brother counsel, when you coming on making videos and lessons like this, right? When you talking to the sheep, you have to have that same spirit. Be slow to speak. Go back up again. Be swift to hear. Slow to speak. Slow to wrath. If a person don't have this quality, he shouldn't be teaching. Simple. He shouldn't be teaching if he not swift to hear. He don't hear out of matter. Right? He's so quick to get in offense mode when you try to tell him, when you try to rebuke him, he don't want to hear it. He's not slow to speak. He say what comes to his mind when he angry. He can't control his emotions. When he angry, he can't control what he say. He not slow to wrath. He's quick to get angry over folly, over madness. He's upset. Now he at camp spazzing out, making the whole ministry look bad. So that's very important to have, man. Let me get this. It's First Timothy 3:15. My bad. First Timothy 3:5. This is what I wanted right here. I'm gonna start at 4. It says, hold on, Salaki. It says, one that ruleth well his own house. Matter of fact, let me start at the top. But it's going into a bishop, but you can kind of refer this to a teacher. Must be blameless. A bishop then must be blameless, right? The husband of one wife, vigilant, sober, of good behavior, given to hospitality, apt to teach, not given to wine. This is beautiful, man. I was just reading it when I'm starting. Like, these are just good traits these are just good traits to have. You see what I'm saying? It's good to be it's good to be blameless. That's the main thing, man. To just be blameless and just you don't want to stain your name. Because once you stain your name, it's gonna be hard to come back from that. Right? It's gonna especially if you're a teacher in Israel and you just continue to stain your name, it's gonna be hard to come back from that, man. Right? It's gonna be hard to come back from that, man. It says be vigilant, right? Be aware of your surroundings. These are good traits, you know what I'm saying? These are good traits to have. You know, be vigilant, be aware, be sober, right? If it comes time as a teacher that you're a teacher and you love getting drunk. You can't stay sober. You just love getting drunk. Then you shouldn't be a teacher. You shouldn't be a teacher if you just love to get drunk. Be of good behavior, given to hospitality, apt to teach, not given to wine, nor striker, not greedy or filthy lucre, but patient, not a brawler, not covetous. This is the point. Verse 4 and 5. One that ruleth well his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of God? Now, this advice right here is very beautiful, man. If you can't rule your own household, if your household is in shambles, your wife don't listen to you, your kids out of order, you going from house to house, you're a nomad. You're going from house to house. You shouldn't be teaching, right? You shouldn't be teaching. If your household is out of order, right? You shouldn't be going out trying to teach the sheep because it starts within your household. Your wife is a reflection of you. Your children is a reflection of you. If you can't rule your house, I'm talking about it. Just you and your wife always constantly fighting 24/7. Right? Your kids, you can't sit your kids down at the table for a Bible study because they always bucking up. And they always, leaving the table and going back in the room and playing 2K. If you can't rule your house, you shouldn't be trying to teach. If you're going from house to house, right? If you just, if you ain't got yourself, if you don't got yourself set up, right? If you don't got your house, if you don't got your household in order, simple. If you don't got your household in order, it's all chaos and confusion and hell. You shouldn't be going out trying to teach the sheep. You shouldn't. If you can't rule your house, if you don't, you don't know, if you can't teach your family, right? Your family may always come to you with questions, and you just never know the answer to none of the questions they asking you, and you don't try to figure it out. But you going out teaching your household in order, man. I mean, your household not in order. You're not teaching them the right way you supposed to. You're not treating them the correct way. But you expect to go out and teach the sheep? No. Get your household in order first. Then go out and teach the sheep. This is very important, man. This is very important. Get yourself together first, right? Get your family together first. Then go out and teach the people. Um, I pulled that. Okay, I'm tripping. Let me get Romans. Get Romans 12. It's Romans 12, verse 18. If it be possible, well, it look kind of good at the top. Recompense, start at 17. Dang, man. That's what I'm saying. The Bible teach you traits of just being a man, being a teacher, man. The traits. Recompense to no man evil for evil, right? If it's a person that you're teaching, you want to go evil, you want to recompense evil to evil. I ain't gonna just say evil for evil, but you just love. If you a teacher that just love, if you're a teacher in Israel that love drama, that love going back and forth, right? That a person cussing you out, you cussing them back out. They talking about a fight and you pulling your pants up, talking about what you're trying to do. You shouldn't be teaching. Provide things honest in the sight of all men. If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. So I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real. A lot of times we bring, a lot of times, we go out and teach, brothers go out and teach, they bring trouble to them. Like a lot of times, brothers go out and teach. I be very aware, and I pay attention to, when I watch street teaching videos. Sometimes how brothers do things and things like that. A lot of times we bring the drama to us by the things that we say. You know what I'm saying? People going by, walking by. We calling them out, picking on them, right? Or just little that we think are little things, we bringing drama and hell to us. If we just would have let that person walk by, without pointing them out and picking on them, it wouldn't have been no y'all finna fight. It wouldn't be no yelling back and forth and threatening. If you would just let that person go, bro, instead of just calling them out, you know that you really don't want to talk to them, you just calling them out because the camera on. It says, if it be possible, as much as lieth in you, if it be possible, be peaceable with all men. So even when it comes to the police, we a lot of sometimes that we bring that to us, and when we just how we carry ourselves and how we say things as we teach it, man. I'm just using an example. We want to be people. We don't want to get thrown in jail before our time. We understand. I think it's Revelation 2:10. I want to say how we gonna get thrown in prison for the word, but we don't want to get thrown in prison before our time. If you can prevent that, prevent that. So it's like, bro, you know what I'm saying? We know that we not out there for the heathen. So just let them walk by. If they come up and ask a question, okay, cool. I answer your question. You want to know who you are in the Bible? I would tell you. You want to know your judgment and what you're gonna be doing? I would tell you. But bro, just let them walk by, bro. Be peaceably with all men. You gonna bring that trouble to you. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta yell and say they're the devil. Just let them just walk. Right? We not there for them anyway. So just let them go about their day. So you could just go, you could just be at peace and God, they ain't gotta worry about them. You worry about your people. This is very important, man. This is very, very, very important. He's saying be at peace. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be able to live around people, to be around people if you constantly yelling at them. That's in anything. You constantly yelling, you constantly, you know what I'm saying, picking and talk. Nobody want to be peacefully around you. They're gonna try to kill you, right? They're gonna try to do something to you. If you just, you know what I'm saying, you ain't talking to them peacefully and trying to be peaceful and trying to reason with them. So he said, if it be possible, as much as life and in you, live peaceably with all men. So as a teacher, you have to understand these things. As a teacher, you have to know how to maneuver around, right? You know what I'm saying? Understand everything is not called for a reaction. Everything is not called for me to say. This is what we have to always have in mind as a teacher. Is deeper than just knowing the Bible. You have to have traits of Christ within you when you going out to them highways and byways. You have to have the spirit of Christ within you, man. And what he had was he knew how to talk to people. That's why he had so many people following him. He knew how to relate to people. He knew how to talk to his people. He knew that. Because best believe if he didn't know how to talk to him, they wouldn't have been following him. He knew how to talk to him. He was merciful. He was understanding. He was caring to the sheep. But like a lot of people don't want to be caring and sharing. They only want to be caring to the sheep that stop and listen. We only want to be caring to the Israelites that's in the truth. But they don't want to stop and listen. What happens? The care go out the window. Right? The patience go out the window. The mercy go out the window. Now we strictly going to giving them their judgment because they didn't want to stop and listen that day. We got to be peaceful, man. We don't, because we are an example, to the Most High, man. Right? We want people to, like I said before in the video, we want people to be like, this is a wise and understanding people. But how are they gonna say that and feel like that if we just constantly rebuking? Right? We just constantly rebuking. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, even when it comes to because even when it comes our people, right? They're not gonna understand that we are wise to understand the nation. And the heathen, they're not gonna understand that we are wise to understand the nation because we don't even give them time to and hear what we talking about without telling them to leave and rebuking them. How are they gonna say this? Let me get the precept. I keep saying, let me pull it out. Deuteronomy 4:6. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes. We don't even give them a chance to hear it. And say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. What nation is there so great who hath God so nigh unto them as the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for? And what nation is there so great that has statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day? So it's okay if a heathen walk up, you let them know what we stand for. It's okay to even show them a few commandments because they're gonna be like, dang, this is This was given to y'all. Y'all are wise people. Dang, that y'all got understanding. You can bring, you know what scripture to go to, right? Y'all got a dietary law, right? Y'all got a God that love y'all. That's a blessing. This is how we should want them to think about us. Right? This is how they should think. I'm gonna say this is how they should think about us. Right? It's to the point where they should want to serve us through our God, or want to serve our God through us, right? Because that's what they're gonna have to do. Right, but we want to come off as a wise, understanding people, but we don't come across like that when we just always on rebuke mode, right? Always on 10 when it, when bashing and what I'm saying, just even just the drama within this camp beefing with this camp, they exposing this person that's supposed to be a leader, is and this person supposed to be a leader. They trying to fight each other. They going at it on Clubhouse. It's like, bro, how are we gonna be looked at as a wise and understanding people to our people? How? How are we gonna be looked at as a wise and understanding people when you still trying to game bang in the truth? When you still trying to be a Q dog or a AKA in the truth? You won't want to let it go. How are we gonna be looked at as a wise and understanding people when we in our community it's nothing but chaos and drama and group chats and of drama and videos of brothers throwing shots to other brothers in the videos that's supposed to be edifying? How are we gonna be looked at as a wise and understanding people among the world? How? So let me get this scripture real quick. Let me get this. This is the book of John, chapter 1 and verse 47. Yahweh saw Nathanael coming to him and said unto him, and said of him, Behold, an Israelite indeed, in whom is no guile. If you a teacher in Israel, this how people should come to you. If people see you and people talking about you, this is what the same thing Yahweh said about Nathanael is how people should say about you. It's an Israelite. Be ready to see you. This brother ain't got no guile. This brother very respectful. Right? This brother is humble. Right? Even outside of camp, right? He's very sincere. He's a very sincere brother. This is what you want to be said about you. If your name stained and it's constantly getting stained, you shouldn't be a teacher. Just step down, brother. Just go ghost for a little bit to get your spirit right. You shouldn't be teaching if your name is just stained. Everybody got something bad to say about you. Right? You don't want to receive counsel from nobody. You only want to receive counsel just from the elders. The elders aren't the only people that can give you counsel, buddy. Right? You have some elders that don't want to listen because they feel like I'm the elder, I'm the big dog. Man, the most I can put on anybody's spirit to tell you something. Forget all that rank stuff. Forget all that. You've been in the truth 30 years. Forget all that. You a bishop or you a teacher, elder. Forget all the titles. Forget all that. Right? It don't matter. It'd be a lot of respect to persons, right? If this person is known for doing wickedness, tell him stop letting them teach. If a teacher known for doing wickedness, he always in adultery. He in adultery. He always stealing from brothers. He barely want to come to camp. He always want to be at he always want to be playing Madden at Do Dirty House. That probably went over a lot of people here. y'all. Even he always want to play Madden at Do Dirty House. Right? He never want to go out and do the work. He coming to camp 20 minutes late. Right then, when he get there, he feel like he's the star of the show. So like, bro, certain brothers you just need to tell, bro, you don't need to be teaching. If you just if your name just too like if you just continue on, I can see if you know what I'm saying, I can see if you mess up, repent, and you really truly change from that. But if it's if it's an ongoing cycle, like you just continue, like nothing changing, you don't need to be teaching. He said, "Behold, a Israelite indeed, in whom is no guile, no guile, nothing you can say about this person." But it's like now, the name people like I don't care what people think about me. So yeah, they can say they know it be true. They can say what they want to say. I don't care. People talked about Christ, but no, brother, it's different because you actually doing the things that people saying that you doing. He said, Yahweh saw Nathanael coming to him and said of him, "Behold, an Israelite indeed, in whom is no guile." You don't want to have no. You don't want to be a known teacher or just a teacher in general, and you start standing your name, man. You start doing what you want to do. You start, you know what I'm saying, feeling like you the Most High. No, with no guile. We should try to push forth to have no stain within our name. And stay in our lane, man. Stay in your lane and just do the work. Stop worrying about other people. Stay in your lane and just do the works. Stop worrying about drama. Start worrying about what's going on Clubhouse and the beef between what so and so. Forget all that, man. He said, let me get this precept. This first Maccabees 2:27. It says, and Mattathias cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying, "Whosoever is zealous of the law and maintaineth the covenant, let him follow me." No, so if you're a teacher and you're not zealous of the law, you shouldn't be teaching. You know what I'm saying? Because then we out here teaching the law, right? And if you're not zealous for the law, if you just, you willing to compromise, when it comes to certain things, you pick and choose what you want to keep. You shouldn't be, teaching. When it comes to persecution, when affliction rise, you start folding, you start compromising, you start breaking the commandments, to basically for people to be upset with you and mad at you, or for you to prosper in Babylon. You start compromising. No, a teacher should be zealous for the law, because it don't make sense for you to tell somebody you out there teaching, but you telling somebody don't eat pork, but you just ate a pork sandwich. Then you going out teaching, or you just broke the Sabbath day, but you going out teaching and telling people to keep the Sabbath day, or you teaching on the Sabbath day, but you just broke the Sabbath day. No, you got to be zealous of the law, meaning not compromising. Zealous of the law, meaning you willing to die for this thing, right? You read about a lot of our people dying in the Maccabees because they didn't want to compromise against the commandments. You have to be zealous for the law, man. Right? You have to be really about the Most High God business. Not only with your words, but with your actions. That what shows a great teacher, a man with character. Not with just he say, but with his actions. So you got to be zealous for the law, man. If you ain't zealous for the law, you shouldn't be teaching. If you really don't care about the law, if it's just, well, it is what it is, and you going through the motions when it comes to the law, you're not really keeping it like you could, you shouldn't be teaching, man. Right? Because this is very important, right? Because we teaching people this. We going out and teaching people to keep the commandments. But if you going through the motions or you're not keeping the commandments, you shouldn't be teaching. Take a break. Just wait before you go out there. And make sure that you got yourself right first. Because it's better to wait before you got yourself right first, then just jump and start, start doing it, man. And you ain't really built yourself up. And I know some of us did that. I was one brother that did that. I know a few brothers. I think the brother from the Hope. Well, I'm with the Hopeful Let now, but I know the brothers Isaiah, Denal, and Azrael. I know they said when they first came in, they just went out there. Well, a lot of us did, man. And if I could take it back, I would have waited. I would have, because a lot of things when I first went out there and started teaching, I wasn't worried about having the traits of a teacher. I just felt like I was a teacher because I knew a couple scriptures. And I heard brothers saying to go out there to the streets. What are you doing? Go ahead out there. So, I'm finna go out there. And I would have got confounded if somebody would have came up well versed. I would have went out there. I would have went out there teaching. I was out there teaching, having no mercy, calling people 2/3 that I don't know are 2/3. I was just, I was out there waiting on something to happen. I was ready for something to pop off. I was hoping something popped off. Going out just yelling. People didn't want to come. Our people didn't want to come up and listen. Oh, you wicked. The Lord gonna kill you, right? All type of stuff. If I would have knew this now, I wouldn't have went out there right now, man. I would have built myself up first before I went out there and calling myself a teacher, or getting looked at, or call myself teaching the other people. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a serious. I didn't know it was a serious job. I'm just hearing I need to go out and teach. You need to hurry up and get out there, right? But understand how serious this is, man. The Most High is requiring you, right? These souls, he's trusting you with these souls. He's trusting you to feed these souls. He's trusting you to look after these souls. So when you don't do it, and you running the souls off, the Most High holding you accountable for that, man. The Most High is holding you accountable for that. It's very serious business. This ain't no joke. Let me get this last verse. Proverbs 19, verse 20. Hear counsel and receive instruction. If you can't hear counsel and you can't receive instruction, you shouldn't be teaching. It's some people that don't want to hear rebuke or instruction or hear counsel unless it's from a well-known person, or a well-known person in Israel, right? A person that may be known. They don't want to hear counsel or hear correction from somebody that nobody knows. They only got 400 subscribers. They don't want to hear it, right? There ain't no respect. It shouldn't be no respect to person. If you can't hear counsel, you just people trying to give you counsel. They telling you what you're doing. You don't want to hear it. You bucking up. You getting emotional. You getting your feelings. If you can't hear counsel and receive instruction, it may be somebody that's telling you something, man, that's some real stuff, man, that may be good for the ministry, and you just don't want to hear it. You're stuck in your ways. You shouldn't be teaching. A wise teacher is going to hear counsel, right? A wise teacher is going to hear correction because he understands, okay, this is going to benefit me. This is going to better my teaching. If somebody telling you that, if somebody pointing out something you're doing on the highways and byways or you're teaching, listen to them. Because this can better your teaching, right? If they telling you that, hey, you ain't got to come across like that to get their attention. You ain't got to come across angry or just what I'm saying, without no remorse. You don't have to come off like that to get them to come listen to you, because the sheep are 9 times out of 10 are they're gonna want to listen to people that's talking regular like them. Who's gonna want to stop and listen to a person that just bashing them? Remember the goal. The goal is to try to bring the sheep in. So sometimes we may look like fools to bring them in, man. In the sense of they may look at us, even I'm talking about not in the sense of like the approach of just, what I'm saying, like this, but even us just trying to, having a regular conversation with them, they may look at us like fools, but we have brought them in, man. There's just plenty of times I done seen it, man. Like, you don't, what they say, you attract bees with honey, not vinegar, right? So we gotta just like how Esau, they study our people in these labs and stuff. They study how black people, so-called black people, how we do things. We have to study how our people. We got to study how our people move, man. So what they study, what they like, what they dislike. So we'll know how to approach them. Your approach. You have to read the spirit. You have to read that person. That person can be broken. They're on the edge of killing themselves. But you just, you come at them, not paying attention, not reading their spirit. You coming at them, what I'm saying, hard rebuking them. It's like, dang, they don't need that. A person, you got to understand, a person may come up. They may not need the curses right away. That person broken. Okay, let me get this person exhortation. This man right here, he let down the spirit. Let me uplift him real quick. And that's what makes a good teacher. Everybody are teachers, but everybody are not good teachers. Some people ain't even called to be teachers. They shouldn't even be teaching, right? But you have to hear counsel, man. Have to be able to give counsel, right? You have to be able to give counsel, man. That's what makes you, makes you a servant of the Most High. Let me get Galatians. Shalakia. It's getting late. Galatians 5, 23, 22. But the fruits of the Spirit is love. These are the traits that you should see within a teacher. If you don't see these traits in a teacher when he's teaching you, you shouldn't be listening to him. Love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, and faith, meekness, and temperance. These are the traits that you should see within a teacher or a leader or a bishop. These are traits that you should see within them in their everyday life, not only when they teaching or when they got a microphone on and they got the camera on. This should be that person's life. If you a teacher, you should have this. This should be within you. This should be you. So and this would come, even then, bro. If a teacher that was teaching the classroom was teaching like a lot of people teach on the streets, would you listen to him? I'm gonna end off on that. If you was in a classroom and you had a teacher teaching you, right, and she was teaching you like how some brothers teach on the streets, would you listen to her? Would you listen to him? You gotta think about yourself as you being a student. How would you want a teacher to talk to you? We gotta put ourselves in these people's shoes that we talking to. We want somebody to cuss us out. We want somebody to tell us that we are 2/3, right? We want somebody, picking on us. So we have to give our people that same respect, because we don't want that done to us. We want people to talk to us like they got some sense. So let's talk to our people that same way. So that's what's gonna bring them in. That's what's gonna make them want to serve the Most High. That's gonna make them want to listen to you. By how you approach your approach, by how you speaking to them. So Lord willing, this video was edifying, man. I might do a part 2. Yeah, I might do a part 2. It's just getting late, man. I got work in the morning. I'm just glad, Most High allowed me to get on here, man, and touch on this, because this is very, very important. This is very important, man. You attract bees with honey, not with vinegar. Right? Understand the people that you're talking to. Understand that we are broken-hearted people. Understand that our people has been through a lot. So we have to be patient and gentle with them because they've been through a lot. We can't forget that. We was just them a year ago. We were just in their shoes a year ago. We can't forget these things when we come out and teach. We have to be patient. We have to be gentle. We have to be meek to them, to the sheep. We don't want to run the sheep off, because we're gonna be held accountable for that. We're gonna be held accountable for why we didn't feed the Most High sheep, or why we wasn't sincere, why we had a motive behind feeding them. Why did we only teach the good looking women, but when it came to the other brothers, when it came to brothers walking by, we ain't say nothing to them? Or when a brother was dressed nice, or when he was a celebrity, we quit to call him over. Hey, who a celebrity? Hey, Lil Uzi, come hear the word, bro. Come here, bro. You Israelite. When it come to a brother that his clothes messed up, he stank. Look over him. Kind of look over him. No. Let me get this last scripture. Let me get this last scripture. Let me get this last verse. I'm gonna close out. I might do a part 2 on this. Proverbs 11 and 30. It says the fruit. Oh yeah, the fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he that winneth souls is wise. The Bible said, if you win souls, you wise. So you got to figure out how you gonna win these souls. How we gonna win these souls for the Most High? And part of that is being a good teacher and live what you preaching. It's a lot of brothers. If brothers on Clubhouse just going back and forth, and they love drama. If brothers arguing with people in the comment section while he doing the class, brother, you shouldn't be teaching. You worry about the wrong stuff. If you can't control your spirit and your emotions, and you doing this thing for a show, you doing it for a show. You turning this truth into you trying to become a YouTuber Israelite. Like a lot of people starting to make this truth for like a trend. They starting to be like Casanet, whatever his name is. They trying to get as much people on their videos, and so they can get paid on YouTube, and being a content creator. There's nothing wrong with doing that, but don't try to merge that into the truth. And now your main focus is not the truth. It's worried about other stuff. You just using the truth as benefits for you. That's madness, man. So Lord, when this video was edifying, man, yeah, man, Lord, when this video was edifying, I'm finna get some Z's. Lord willing, if it's the Most High Spirit, I can make a part 2 on this, man. But all praise to the Most High, man. Examine your spirit, right? Examine your spirit before it's too late. Like I said, being a teacher is very serious business. And if you teaching and the Most High put in your spirit to step down or get your spirit right, just obey him. You don't have to go out and teach all the time. It's not about you, right? Right? It's not about you. So just be sincere. Be honest with yourself. If you don't got the traits of being a teacher, you may have wisdom, but you may not have the traits of being a teacher. You don't know how to be a teacher. Build yourself up, get yourself right, man. Then go back out and hit the streets, right? So with that, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Shemi Awashai. And I say shalom.